I was wondering if you would like to have sex.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 sci-fi movie sex scenes.
The only real sin is regret.
For this list, we'll be ranking the most memorable, outlandish, or otherwise notable steamy scenes that have taken place within the genre. Which moment of sci-fi sexiness, or sexy weirdness, lives in your head rent-free? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Exploring Pandora. Avatar. When James Cameron brought the world of Pandora to life, we knew he wanted us to see as much of the alien Na'vi culture as possible, but we weren't expecting to see the most intimate parts of their lives. After the human Jake gets a Na'vi avatar, he develops serious chemistry with the Blue Princess, Neytiri. While the two are spending an evening together, they get hot and heavy. Their connection is further deepened when they connect their alien cues together. Although the sight of their tendrils may have seemed a bit odd, Jake and Neytiri clearly enjoyed the union. Their unique biology paved the way for a truly distinct alien mating ritual. Number 9. The Fly and the Barfly. The Fly. After Seth Brundle's teleportation experiment accidentally starts turning him into a fly-human hybrid, he finds newfound strength and vitality. We first see him bring those new traits into an encounter with his partner Ronnie. But the more memorable scene takes place after he meets a woman at a bar. Seth starts the scene by showing off his big teleportation energy. Once she's wowed, he gets close to her. The fierce look in his eye and her face of desire tells us all we need to know before he begins. At the same time, the movie reminds us that he is still transforming into a fly-human hybrid. This strange dichotomy makes for a weirdly erotic scene.
So, are we going to breakfast or not?
Number 8. A zero-gravity encounter. Supernova. This space adventure took full advantage of its setting in one weightless scene. After Carl is rescued in space, he makes moves to seduce ship paramedic Danica.
And the one thing you keep thinking about is sex.
One sensual speech later, the two decide to have a zero-gravity meeting. The passion between them is so intense that it radiates off the screen, and as the scene goes on, the two float around the screen in a variety of angles. While their encounter isn't extremely explicit, the creative staging and cool concept gives viewers more than enough to think about. Carl and Danica definitely made the best of the space equivalent of the Mile High Club.
Number 7. An amorous and animalistic affair.
Splice. During Splice, a series of experiments conducted by scientists Clive and Elsa lead to the creation of a not quite human being named Dren. While she starts off young, she ages mentally and physically much faster than normal. Dren's newfound maturity comes with adult desires. While her initial attempt to seduce Clive fails, the two end up getting intimate. It's debated whether Dren carries pheromones to move things along, but the definite result is a scene where the near-human creature expresses her pleasure by taking on the traits of other animals. While most of it's too risque to show here, their full scene is undeniably something that stays with you. Number 6. Sharing essences. Cocoon. Several movies have played with the concept of psychic hookups. One of the most distinctive mind twists came with 1985's Cocoon. At one point, an alien named Kitty decides to show the earthbound Jack extra attention in a pool of water. She informs him that her species doesn't lean on physical touch for intimacy.
Don't touch me.
Instead, they share essences. Kitty builds up to the moment by getting up close and personal with Jack in the pool. Suddenly, she pulls away and releases a glowing energy out of her body. It makes its way inside of Jack. His delighted expression after he starts glowing speaks volumes. Anatarian aliens like Kitty clearly know what they're doing.
If this is foreplay, I'm a dead man.
Number 5. A feral encounter. Cat people. In Cat People, Irina has to deal with the all-too-common struggle that she may turn into a ferocious feline if she goes all the way with someone. This is proven after an erotic encounter with a zoo curator named Oliver leaves her stuck in the form of a big cat. Since killing a person can turn someone like her back into a human, she proceeds to do just that. But Irina ultimately decides to go back to the cat-like form. After Oliver agrees to assist her, Irina consents to being tied to a bed. She then fully enjoys and embraces the last human tryst she ever planned to have. Mixing bondage, pleasure, and plot, this significant encounter made for a truly one-of-a-kind scene. Number 4. Virtual hookup. Demolition Man. Decades after LAPD Sergeant John Spartan is cryogenically frozen, he's woken up in the year 2032 and finds that much has changed.
How long have I been under?
36 years.
One of the most notable adjustments centers around how two consenting adults spend an evening. After John goes on a date with his co-worker, Lenina, she blatantly asks if he would be down to get more intimate. To his surprise, she returns with 2 headset devices.
Now just relax.
The machines fill their minds with erotic imagery and sensations without the two of them having to actually touch each other. Although Lenina makes it look extremely blissful, John finds the experience a bit too overwhelming. With virtual reality tech advancing every year, it might not be long before this steamy mental encounter becomes reality.
What's wrong? He broke contact.
Contact? I didn't even touch you yet.
Number 3. Blurred Lines. The Man Who Fell to Earth. The Man Who Fell to Earth features a few out-of-this-world sex scenes. Ultimately, David Bowie's alien character Thomas and Candy Clark's Mary Lou steal the show. Their early encounters are sensual and relatively normal. But as the film goes on and Thomas reveals more alien traits, their trysts only get more odd. After they spend some time apart, they come back together for a hookup that involves playing with a weapon. While we won't get into the details of what they use, just be assured of 2 things. The item in question is modified so they can't hurt each other, and secondly, we're sure that playing with the weapon while they did the deed made for a sex scene that no one else in the galaxy has attempted. Number 2. Sill gets what she wants. Species. The Species franchise has delivered on one singular premise throughout its existence. That of aliens getting it on with humans. It certainly delivered on that promise many times over. And it all began with the initial outing from 1996. Natasha Henstridge's alien character Sill brings a ton of sensual energy to the table as her character pursues her mission to reproduce. The movie perfectly balances both elements in one famous scene.
How did you get in here?
I stole the key.
After Sill sneaks into Arden's room, she makes a very forward proposition. The eager man ignores all the red flags and immediately gives in to her demands. As soon as Arden realizes that he gave her exactly what she wanted, Sill kills him. We think it's safe to call that an unhappy ending.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Excessive Machine. Barbarella. Is there any movie as indicative of the swinging 60s as 1968's Barbarella? We're not sure, but we do know that we never forgot the titular space adventurer's journey into the Excessive Machine. Jane Fonda's Barbarella does a few tantalising tangos during the movie, including one memorable episode of psychic sex with Resistance leader Dildano. But those scenes are blown out of the water by the excessive machine. After she's captured, she's sentenced to experience unlimited pleasure at the hands of the adult device. This creation is capable of killing individuals through sex. However, the excessive machine is absolutely no match for Barbarella's legendary libidinousness.
Sort of nice, isn't it?
Fonda's facial expressions are priceless as she overloads the device in the most delightfully over-the-top sensual scene in the genre.
What's this?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.